Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Mull for Monday, the 18th of October. With McShane, we continue reading our way through 1 Kings, following the story of Elijah. Today we read 1 Kings 21. King Ahab, the king of Israel, had wanted to buy a vineyard. The owner, Naboth, wouldn't sell it, so his wife Jezebel organized for Naboth to be killed, and then Ahab could buy the vineyard. Elijah meets him and basically speaks God's judgment on him and says essentially that his entire family is going to be wiped out. In verse 25 we're told, "There was never anyone like Ahab who sold himself to do evil in the eyes of the Lord, urged on by Jezebel his wife. He behaved in the vilest manner by going after idols, like the Amorites the Lord drove out before Israel." So here is a king who is the vilest, one of the most evil people, and God's judgment is coming upon him. But, verse 27, when Ahab heard these words, he tore his clothes, put on sackcloth and fasted. He lay down in sackcloth and went around meekly. Then the word of the Lord came to Elijah the Tishbite. "Have you noticed how Ahab has humbled himself before me? Because he has humbled himself, I will not bring this disaster in his day, but I will bring it on his house in the days of his son." And I was struck by that. Firstly, that God's judgment wasn't completely ended. It was still there. The consequences of evil were still going to come, but it was delayed. And I was struck by how different God is to most human beings, certainly different to me. If Ahab had done that, I'd be entirely cynical. Say, you don't mean this. This is a scam. You're a nasty person. No, I'm not changing your mind. This is a little too late for you to be sorry now. That's how humans, well, certainly humans like me, tend to behave. But God isn't like that. We're told God is gracious and compassionate, slow to anger and abounding in goodness. And so he responds to Ahab. How deep was Ahab's confession? We don't know. Was he a changed man, or was this a convenience? We don't know. God would know, and yet God still dealt with him graciously. And two things come out of that for me. The one is an encouragement that God deals with us like that. He knows we're not perfect. He knows that we're going to get things wrong. He knows that so often we're half-hearted and we have mixed motives in what we do. He desires perfection for us, but he doesn't hold back until we're perfect, because he'd never come near us. Instead, he comes to us in our half-heartedness. As with Ahab, we turn and repent, and it might be with all sorts of motives, but God deals graciously with us. And so that's a great encouragement. And at the same time, it's a challenge that we should deal graciously with other people. The people round about us are human like we are, and they're going to be half-hearted, and they're going to be selfish, and they're going to be deal with mixed motives, and they're going to be human. And yet we must be like God and deal lovingly, graciously, and compassionately with them. So be encouraged and be challenged as you walk with God.